If you're over 50 and your legs are getting weaker even though you squat regularly, it isn't your age. And it isn't that you're not trying hard enough. It's that a squat loads one muscle, the quads, while your hamstrings, your adductors, and your deep glute fibers sit there, almost switched off. You've been training a quarter of the leg for years, and then you wonder why the other 3/4 are fading. After 50, that imbalance is exactly what steals your strength, your stability, and your power, quietly, a little at a time, until one day you notice that getting up out of a chair has become noticeably harder. So here's what I'm going to show you today. 5 precise movements that wake up everything the squat ignores and give you back up to 80% of your lost leg strength in just 3 weeks. No squats, no machines, no wrecked knees. Plus, at the end, a 6th bonus exercise for a tiny muscle almost nobody trains, and it's the reason people catch their toe on a step and go down. Watch to the end, because without that muscle, everything else you build will not protect you in the one moment you actually need it. Let's go. First, quickly, how this happened, so you understand what we're fixing. A squat moves in one plane, down and up, forward and back. Both legs work at the same time, and the strong leg quietly takes over the work of the weak one. You finish a set, you're honestly tired, and the imbalance between your legs has only grown. On top of that, a squat barely takes the hip into deep extension, so the glute max only fires at half power, and the gluteus medius, the one that keeps your pelvis level when you're standing on one leg, barely participates at all. And all of your side-to-side stability, all of that muscular insurance that catches you when you stumble, stays untrained. And life after 50 tests you in exactly that place. You don't fall while squatting. You fall when you step sideways, when you catch a curb, when you shift your weight the wrong way. So now we're going to do the exact opposite of what a squat does. One leg at a time, motion to the side, deep hip extension, full ankle range, and a load you have to hold on to. Let's start with the movement that exposes a weakness you didn't know you had. Almost all leg training people do runs in one direction, forward and back. Life doesn't work that way. You get out of a car sideways. You catch yourself sideways when you trip. You shift your weight to the side to keep from going down. The lateral step-up trains exactly that pattern. It fires up the gluteus medius, the muscle that keeps your pelvis level and your knee tracking straight instead of caving inward. And at the same time, it loads the glute max, the main engine behind every strong step. Here's where it pays you twice. You don't just start moving better and standing more solidly on your feet. You build dense, full glutes that hold your pelvis up instead of flattening out with age. After 50, that combination, function and shape, is rarer than you think. Here's what most people miss. People do this like a regular step-up, just climbing to the top however they can. But the magic isn't in the rise. The magic is in the control on the way down. That slow, resisted lowering is what forges your stabilizers. Rush the lowering, and you lose about 70% of the benefit. The slow descent here is the whole point. Now, how to do it right. Stand beside a solid support, a step platform, a sturdy box, the bottom stair of a staircase. To start, no higher than your knee. Place the foot nearest the support flat on it, the whole sole. Drive through the heel, not the toes, and stand all the way up to full height. At the top, you have 2 options. Either lightly tap the platform with the other foot, or, if you have the strength, hold that leg in the air for 1 or 2 seconds. Then the most important part. Lower yourself slowly, 3 full seconds, until the other foot kisses the floor. Don't drop yourself down and don't bounce back up. Control every inch. Chest open, knee tracking straight over the middle toes the whole time. Here's how to progress. Week 1. A low step, 8 reps per leg, all your attention on that 3-second lowering. Week 2. Raise the height of the step and build to 10 reps per leg. Week 3. Hold a dumbbell at your chest, or 1 in each hand, or slow the lowering to 4 seconds and do 12 reps per leg. No dumbbells. Use what you have. A loaded backpack, a heavy bag, a water jug. Weight is weight. If your balance is shaky at first, touch the wall with one finger. One finger, not your whole hand. The goal is to knead it a little less with every session. Master this, and you're not just building strong legs, you're buying back the stability that keeps you independent for decades. And that leads perfectly into the next movement. Because once the pelvis is stable, we load one leg at a time and find out how strong you really are. This is where men over 50 either build serious strength or discover how long they've been hiding behind their strong leg. The Bulgarian split squat shifts almost your entire body weight onto one leg, with the rear foot resting on an elevated surface behind you. That raised back leg takes away any chance to cheat. The front leg does the work, and it has nowhere to hide. It burns the quad, the glute, and the hamstring all at once. And because you're balancing on one leg, your stabilizers get loaded for free on top of everything else. This is the closest thing to a heavy squat you can do without ever putting a bar on your back or grinding up your knees. Here's what most people get wrong. People guess where to put the front foot. Too close, and the knee travels way past the toes. Too far, and you lose the support and the drive. Either one robs you of the glute and hamstring work this whole thing was built for. The fix is almost laughably simple, and once you feel it, you'll never guess again. Here's how to do it right, starting with that trick. Sit down on the very bench or step you're going to use. Extend your front leg straight out in front of you. Wherever your heel lands, that's your exact front foot position. Remember that spot. Now stand up, set your rear foot on the bench with the laces down, and you're perfectly set up. Chest tall, eyes on the horizon. Lower straight down, dropping your hips toward the floor rather than forward until your back knee almost kisses the ground. Front knee over the foot, never collapsing far past the toes. Then drive through the whole sole of the front foot, especially the heel. Core braced. That's what holds your balance. At the top, don't lock the knee out completely. Keep the tension alive. Here's how to progress. Week 1. Body weight only. 6 to 8 reps per leg, and don't be surprised if that turns out to be more than enough. Week 2. Up to 10 reps per leg with a controlled 3-second lowering. Week 3. Add load. Dumbbells in your hands, a dumbbell at your chest, or that same loaded backpack. 8 to 10 heavy reps per leg. If your balance falls apart at first, hold a wall or the back of a chair with one hand until your stabilizers catch up. You can reduce the lean, you can shorten the range, but never skip this movement. This is the one that closes the strength gap between your legs. The same gap that quietly turns into a limp, a fall, or a blown-out knee a few years down the line. Now let's lie on our back. We're going to switch on a muscle most men over 50 have shut off completely. Hard truth. You sit all day. In the car, at a desk, at dinner, on the couch, and all that sitting puts your glutes to sleep, while your lower back and hamstrings start dragging their work for them. That's where the ache comes from. The feet-elevated glute bridge wakes the glutes back up and teaches them to fire the way nature intended. By raising your feet, you increase the range and shift the load straight onto the glutes and hamstrings. No equipment and no load on your spine at all. And these are the exact muscles that move you in every step. Every time you stand up, every burst of speed you have left. Here's what most people miss. People push with the lower back, or their feet drift too far away, and a glute exercise turns into a hamstring cramp or a sore back. The whole secret is feeling the work in the glute itself and squeezing at the top like you're trying to crack a walnut between them. If you don't catch that feeling, you just moved around. Here's how to do it right. Lie on your back and put both feet on a low bench, a step, or a solid couch. Knees bent to about 90 degrees, heels near the edge of the support so you can press through them. Arms resting at your sides for stability. Press through the heels and drive your hips up until your body forms a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. At the very top, squeeze your glutes as hard as you can and hold for 2 full seconds. That squeeze is the entire point of the exercise. Then lower slowly, 3 seconds, until your hips hover just above the floor. Don't set them down, don't rest, go straight into the next rep. Keep your ribs down and your core braced so your back doesn't arch. Here's how to progress. Week 1. Body weight. 12 to 15 reps with a 2-second squeeze at the top. Week 2. Slow the lowering to 4 seconds and build to 15 reps. Or, if you're ready, move to a single leg. Week 3, put a load on your hips, a dumbbell, a loaded backpack, a heavy book, and do 12 controlled reps. Or go fully single leg, 8 to 10 per side. If your hamstrings cramp, bring your feet a little closer to your hips and focus harder on squeezing the glutes. Wake these muscles up and everything changes. Posture, power, and your lower back finally gets a break. And since we're talking about what you've been neglecting, the next movement hits the muscles that quietly decide whether you'll still be on your feet for the next 30 years. Here's the muscle group almost every man over 50 ignores, right up until the day it betrays him: your calves. This is your first line of defense against a fall. The springs that absorb every step and snap you back upright when you stumble. Weak, stiff calves don't just slow you down, they wreck your balance and take the spring right out of your step. The deficit calf raise fixes this by training the muscle through its full range. The heel drops below the level of the toes, and you get a deep stretch most people never reach at all. That extra piece of range is exactly what builds strength and tendon resilience. Standing calf raises on flat ground barely scratch the surface. Here's what most people miss. People bounce. They pop up on momentum and skip the stretch at the bottom entirely, the single most valuable inch of the whole movement. The magic is in the slow stretch at the bottom and the hard contraction at the top. Rush it, and you've wasted your time. Here's how to do it right. Stand with the balls of both feet on the edge of a step or a thick, stable book, heels hanging in the air. Hold a wall or a railing for balance. Lower your heels slowly, 3 full seconds, until you feel a deep stretch through the whole calf, and pause there for 1 second. Then press up through the balls of your feet as high as you can. Squeeze at the top for a second and lower back down with that same slow control. Knees straight but not locked. The movement happens at the ankle only. Here's how to progress. Week 1, both legs, 12 to 15 reps, all your attention on the slow stretch and the full rise. Week 2, a 4-second lowering, 15 to 20 reps. Week 3, single leg, 10 to 12 reps per side, or with a dumbbell or a loaded backpack. If the deep stretch bothers your Achilles at first, shorten the range and let the ankle adapt gradually. It will adapt. Strong, springy calves are what keep you light on your feet decades from now. The difference between flying up the stairs and hauling yourself up them. And now, the last main movement. The one that ties the whole body into a single unit and gives you a grip that men half your age will envy. The simplest and the most brutally effective exercise on this entire list, and the one you can't skip. Just pick up something heavy and walk. The farmer's carry looks like nothing. It's everything. It builds grip, core, traps, forearms, and legs all at once, and at the same time teaches your whole body to stay strong and stable under load. And here's the key part. Grip strength is one of the best single predictors of how long you'll live and how long you'll stay independent. A weak grip means a weak life. This movement attacks that decline head-on and carries over to real life one-to-one. Shopping bags, water jugs, a suitcase, a grandchild in your arms. Here's what most people miss. People let their shoulders roll forward and their posture break under the load, turning a full-body exercise into a strain on the lower back. The whole point is to walk tall and collected, to carry the weight like a soldier, not like a pack animal. The posture here is the exercise. Here's how to do it right. Take a heavy weight in each hand. Dumbbells, kettlebells, loaded bags, even water jugs. Stand tall, pull your shoulders back and down, brace your core, and just walk. Slow, controlled steps, eyes forward, chest open. Don't lean, don't rush, don't let the weight pull you into a slouch. When your grip is about to give out, set the weights down under control. Don't drop them. Here's how to progress. Week 1, 20 to 30 seconds of walking with a moderate weight, 3 to 4 sets, all your attention on posture. Week 2, go heavier, or extend to 40 seconds per set. Week 3, heavier still and 45 to 60 seconds, or switch to a suitcase carry. One heavy weight on one side forces your obliques to fight the tilt. No weights on hand. A loaded backpack or 2 full bags work beautifully. This one movement ties your whole body into one solid unit. That's the functional strength that lets you carry your life on your own terms for decades. But before we finish, there's one tiny muscle on the front of your shin that almost nobody trains. And that's exactly why people catch a toe, stumble, and fall. Let's fix that. Your bonus, a small, simple, and wildly underrated movement, the toe raise. I'm talking about the muscle that runs down the front of your shin. Almost nobody trains it. Huge mistake. That's the muscle that lifts the front of your foot as you walk. And when it's weak, your foot drags just slightly with every step. That barely visible drag is why people catch a toe on a curb, a step, the edge of a rug, and go down hard. Strengthen the tibialis anterior, and you armor yourself against the single most common cause of falls. Balance out your now strong calves, and take away years of nagging pain in the knee and shin. Here's what most people miss. People have never felt this muscle work, so they cheat with the whole leg instead of isolating the shin. The magic is in slow, deliberate control and a hard squeeze at the top, with your toes pointing straight at the ceiling. You'll feel a burn most people have never experienced. That burn is the goal. Here's how to do it right. Stand with your back against a wall, heels about a foot away from it, legs straight, leaning lightly on the wall. Lift your toes up toward your shins as high as you can. Squeeze at the top for 1 second. Then lower slowly, 3 seconds, until your toes almost touch the floor. Don't bounce. All the work is in the front of the shin. Here's how to progress. Week 1. 15 to 20 slow reps, just learning to feel the muscle. Week 2. Up to 25 reps, or slow the lowering to 4 seconds. Week 3. Move your heels further from the wall, or put a light weight on your toes, 15 to 20 reps. Not feeling it at first? Slow everything down even more. The burn will come. Train this forgotten muscle, and you protect everything you built with the 4 movements before it. Because all the leg strength in the world means nothing if one caught toe puts you on the ground. 5 main movements, 1 bonus, and a body that's stronger, steadier, and built to last. Let's recap. The lateral step-up, gluteus medius, and the side-to-side stability that catches you when you stumble. The Bulgarian split squat closes the gap between your strong leg and your weak one. The feet elevated glute bridge wakes up switched-off glutes and takes the load off your lower back. The deficit calf raise puts the spring back in your step through the full range. The farmer's carry, grip and whole body strength. And the toe raise, insurance against the exact catch that puts people on the ground. Here's what separates the men who actually rebuild their legs from the ones who just keep wishing. They start. The plan is completely in your hands now. There's only one question. Will you do this 3 weeks straight? Or will this become one more video you watched and forgot? The strength is sitting right here, waiting for you. All it costs is showing up and doing the work. Tell me in the comments which of the 6 movements was the hardest for you the first time. From that answer, I can see immediately which link is your weakest, and I'll break it down separately. And one short, honest warning. If you have sharp knee or hip pain, if you've had joint surgery, or if you get dizzy spells, start with your doctor and with the easiest variations I showed you. And if this breakdown gave you a plan worth following, subscribe and turn on notifications. In the next episode, I'm covering balance. 3 tests that show your real fall risk in 1 minute, and the exercises that reduce it. Your strongest decades aren't behind you. They're the ones you start building right now.